and tell your neighbor, neighbor, oh, neighbor, there are times that you will falsely be accused. But if you are a dreamer, then therefore you cannot allow a setback to kill your dreams, because a setback in the hands of God is nothing more than a setup. Shake your neighbor's hand. Tell your neighbor, neighbor, yeah, oh neighbor, a setback in the hands of God is nothing more than a setup, because I heard the Bible say in Romans chapter 8 and 28, and we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, and for the things for those that are called according to his purpose. So lean over and tell your neighbor, neighbor, it may not look good, but it's still working in your favor. That neighbor ain't happy. Find a happy neighbor and tell your neighbor, 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 I know it looks like it's not working in your favor, but Jesus, he has it working in your favor. The Bible says that he went down into the dungeon again, because when you're having dreams, it's full of ups and downs. And tell your neighbor, your dreams coming true is full of ups and downs. Up with favor, down with being sold, up with being promoted, down with being lied on, and now he's back in the dungeon. But while he's in the dungeon, he meets two individuals, and the Bible said that he meets a butcher and a baker. Well, now I don't have time to tell you this, but the butcher gets killed, but the baker remains alive, and there's a pact that's made in the dungeon. While Joseph is in the dungeon, he makes a pact with the baker. In other words, he says to the baker, if you get out of here before I get out of here, don't you forget me, and I won't forget you. As a matter of fact, some of y'all ought to make a pact with the folk on your road right now and tell them, if you get blessed before I get blessed, I won't forget you, and you won't forget me. They ain't gonna make it. Find somebody else that can look to your eye to eye and tell you, if God bless you before he bless me, don't forget me, and I won't forget you. In other words, there are some folk that if they get blessed, they'll be the answer to all of your prayers. Some of y'all ought to point at Bishop and tell him, if God bless me, you won't have a worry, because I got you, Bishop. Y'all ain't happy. Point at your other neighbor. Tell your neighbor, if God bless me, I got you. bless you. And is there anybody that's just waiting for your call? And the Bible said that the butcher, that the baker rather, was pulled out of the dungeon and he was brought to the palace where the Pharaoh lived, and now he was the executive chef for the Pharaoh. In other words, he had the Pharaoh's ear. And I came to tell you that somebody you've been good to is getting ready to have the ear of somebody important. I come to tell you, Bishop, that this is the season where important people are going to slip over to the cathedral just to have a meeting with you to find out what you think. Because if they can get a word from the Lord, it's going to be great. And when they get through talking to you, Bishop, I prophesy they're going to end the conversation by saying, what can I do for you? Y'all ain't happy. Tap your neighbor and tell your neighbor, somebody is getting ready to bless you, and they're coming from some strange places. I wish I could get y'all to act country for a minute and cross the aisle. Tell your neighbor, somebody is getting ready to bless you in strange ways from strange places. And I heard the Bible say that Joseph was good to the baker, and one day Pharaoh had a dream, and Pharaoh's dream was that he saw 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows, and he didn't understand what the dream meant. He tried to get all of his advisors to interpret the dream, but the baker said, Pharaoh, there's a fella in the prison that can interpret your dream. When you are anointed, you ain't got to push your way. Just stand and wait your turn. And when it's your turn, the Lord, he'll send somebody after you. Look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, neighbor, wait your turn. When it's your turn, he will send for you. And I wish I had somebody that could help me close it up here. And look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor that they sent for Joseph, and he said to Joseph, if you can interpret the dream, I'm going to bless you. If you can interpret the dream, I'm going to put you over all of the kingdom. And the only somebody you have to answer to is me. Slap your neighbor and tell your neighbor, you get ready to be promoted over all your haters. You get ready to be promoted over all your naysayers. Tell your neighbor, you get ready to be promoted over all of the folk that try to hold you down. Yes, anybody that know that this is the season of your promotion, tell your neighbor, get ready. Neighbor, get ready for your promotion. And